Is it just me, or does every woman want so much to feel free? But look around you. Your house is full of piles. Your schedule is so busy, it's like you're racing everywhere. You're running away from something. And your mind is so overwhelmed, you can't even think. That's not freedom, you know. That's fear. That's you running from emptiness so fast, the emptiness just gets bigger. And it's one of the clearest signs that trauma is still running your life. When you grow up in chaos, neglect, or abuse, clutter has a way of following you into adulthood. Not just in your house, but in your time, your relationships, your thoughts. And it jams you up. You have no space for perception. Being able to read people and situations, you don't have room for that. You have no room to envision the future. You can't problem solve. You can only make a change in your life when there's a crisis. You can't do it proactively when there's so much in here. So the clutter is a bigger problem than you might think it is. You probably already know how much lighter you feel when things are in order in your space, in your physical space. You've tried to clean up. You've promised yourself you'll get organized, but somehow the piles and the busyness and the confusion, it just all comes back again and again. And that's not because you don't care. And it's not because you're lazy. It's because trauma changes how your brain handles stress and decision making. That's what decluttering is. It's a lot of little decisions that you make. Now, when your nervous system is dysregulated, which definitely happens when you grow up with trauma, your focus drops out, your priorities get blurred, and even little things can feel impossible to accomplish. You can see what needs to be done. You can even want to do it, but you can't get traction. That's what trauma does. It scrambles the signal between intention and action. That old instinct to save, to hold on, to prepare. It's not about trying to clutter. That's not what you're after. It's that you are in fear. You're trying to hedge against this terrible disaster that you feel might be coming all the time. There's fear that it won't be enough, or that letting go means losing your connection to the few good things that ever happened in your life, the good people. And when you grow up in scarcity and instability, I did, that reflex gets built in. Even when you're safe and you have enough now, your brain doesn't always know it. You keep holding tight, and letting go can feel dangerous. It's not dangerous to let go, actually. It's a sign that safety has finally arrived. You're aware of it now. And you trust that if you do lack anything that you do need, you'll figure out what to do. You'll get it. So clutter isn't laziness. I guess in theory it could be in certain instances, but the kind I'm talking about, trauma-driven clutter, it's dysregulation and it's made manifest. When your brain and nervous system are overloaded with tasks and memories and worries and talking, your energy just gets stuck. Your intentions get frozen before they turn into actions. And it shows up as piles, as unfinished projects and overcommitment. And decluttering is more than just cleaning, It's about creating a space in your life and in your mind that supports you in having your thoughts in order, having your plans clear for you, keeping that simple enough that you can see it all, just, all around you. Here's what I need to do. It's hard to get there when you've been in a state of overwhelm. So I recommend starting with your physical space. Start there. When you start clearing space, even if it's just one drawer, something in you starts to wiggle around again, like a little seedling in the soil that just got some sunshine. Now it can grow. So there are 5 areas where that space you give yourself by a little decluttering, where it matters most. All right. One is in your belongings. Start with what's right in front of you. When everything around you is unfinished, your brain never gets to rest. Unfinished tasks fill up your bandwidth. They take energy to finish, yes, but they take even more energy not to finish because they pile up. You're holding them all in your head. So pick one small thing. I always like to pick on a silverware drawer. Mine has always got some crud in it. I didn't put it there. But silverware, you can always kind of straighten it and wipe out the bottom of it, move all the things that belong there out while you clean it, then put them back in a nice order. It feels good. If you want to, you could also clean a countertop where there's just a lot of stuff on it. You could sort out a stack of papers. Paper feels like a little bit like harder, so that could come second. But whatever you pick, finish it. Don't just be halfway. Finish it. Let your hands do what your mind can't yet do. Just bring things to completion. Now, you don't have to make it complicated. Just decide. Do I keep it or do I toss it? And watch out that you don't slip into this other kind of cluttered thinking where you think, oh, I can't possibly throw this out. This came up when I made a video a few years ago about clutter. And I told the story of how I bought some really good makeup. Finally, I'm a YouTuber. It was time to have decent makeup. And that meant, well, the lady who came to my house to show me how to apply it and told me what to buy, she said, show me what you've already got. She goes, now you throw all of this out. And I'm like, throw it out. Like, this has been my precious eyeliner for 20 years. And sure, it's all dried out and cracked. Yeah, so I learned you can actually just throw stuff out. And when I put the video up where I told that story, I thought everybody would enjoy that. Yeah, we can just throw stuff out. No, a whole bunch of people are like, you can donate it to a morgue and they can use it. And you know what? Actually, I learned from other commenters, you can't. These are licensed places and they're not going to pick up your garbage. And you're not going to drive it there. Who are we kidding? You're not going to go take all your things and deliver them to all these little places. The object of the game was to stop being totally connected to them with your energy and your plans and just let go of them. It's okay to throw out old things. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Now, I'm a bit of a hoarder, just a bit. In my family, we have to fight against it because we grew up in a hoarder house. So I really try to do a purge every year or two and just get rid of a lot of things. So where I live, you can put stuff out on the street. It's good fun. That's where a lot of the things in our house came from. I found them on the street. My husband doesn't agree with me that I should pick up everything I find, though. I told a story about a tray of silverware. It's very plain silverware, but we have silverware. We have enough. And I thought, but you never know, like, what if we had 100 people at our house or something? He goes, well, then we get disposable. I don't know. We'd do something, but what are we going to do with the third silverware drawer? We don't have anywhere to put it. Or, like a thing full of silverware. And so, you know what I did? I put it back out on the sidewalk where somebody snapped it up. They probably didn't need it either. Or maybe they did. That was my fantasy. So it's nice if you live in a place where putting stuff just out on the curb is a way of donating it. If it really upsets you that something is given away, but not to the right charity, it could be a bad charity, it should be a good charity, you're falling into the cluttered thinking again of trying to manage and control something that you could not control even when it was just sitting in your house. This is therapeutic for you to let go. You want to also watch out for that feeling that you should save something just in case, just in case. What if there's a famine? What if I need 200 cans of tuna? Well, okay, you can do that if you have space for it. It's up to you. If it's put away and it's not just laying all over and you have a space for all your belongings. You know that saying? Everything in it, a place for everything and everything in its place. I love those old sayings. That's always been my ideal. So when you're decluttering, you're getting rid of enough stuff. And then of what you keep, if it needs repair, you repair it. If it needs cleaning, you clean it. And it goes in a place. Oh, feels good. Feels so good mentally to do that. It's like the ultimate Tetris game. Like everything clicks into place. You don't want to add more unfinished work to your plate. Each time you make a decision and follow through, your brain gets a little clearer. I remember this friend of mine used to say, to decide, it comes from this Latin word, which means to sever. And yeah, a decision is like you cut off the other option. You're like, there, it's decided, it's gone. That's how order starts to return, one decision at a time, one finished task at a time. All right, number 2. That was a juicy one, right? But the next one is to declutter your calendar. A packed schedule can look like discipline, yeah, but for a lot of us, it's old chaos just disguised as being productive. Is it though? When life slows down, some raw feelings have a way of coming to the surface. Oh, I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling lonely. And a lot of us will instinctively avoid that because we already feel overwhelmed or isolated. So we stay busy. So just try this. Just look through. Do you have any unnecessary commitments or ones that you really didn't want to do anyway? Get rid of them. Say, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it. No explanation needed. They'll say, okay. Don't fill that time with chores either. Just let the time stay open. That open space is where your imagination returns, your creativity, your thoughts can start to blossom and fall into place. Your nervous system starts to re-regulate. You need a little time for that. That's where clarity sneaks back in, and the life that you really want begins to show itself to you. Ta-da! Make space for that to happen. It's good. It's a good thing. Number 3 is to declutter your relationships. Now, some connections add energy, some drain your energy. And when you spend time with people who keep you anxious or defensive or watching your belongings so they don't get stolen, if you know what I mean, or walking on eggshells, your emotions can't settle. You stay in hypervigilance. You can't let your hair down. You don't need to diagnose anyone. Just notice how you feel after spending time with them. Are you clearer? Are you uplifted? Or are you confused and feeling down? If someone consistently leaves you feeling depleted, pull back your time and attention. You can love people without letting them run your nervous system for you. Number 4 is declutter your mind. Mental clutter isn't just overthinking. It's a sign that your brain has too much input and no outlet. And when thoughts start looping, you're worried, you've got to-do lists, you're replaying conversations, just get them out. Write them down. Don't sort or analyze, just unload. And this act alone starts to calm the noise. You're not pushing thoughts away, you're giving them somewhere to go so your mind can reset. Now, the best way I know how to accelerate your processing of old negative thoughts so they stop looping is to use my daily practice techniques. If you haven't learned those, you're going to love having this easy way to release all that mental noise and get that clarity that you need. I teach it in a free course. It's short, it's easy, and I'll put a link to that in the top line of the description section below this video so that you can give that a try. Number 5 is declutter your emotions. Now, this is also something you can do with the daily practice, and this is where the real work is. Old anger and guilt and grief build up when you don't have a way to move them through, and they literally sit unprocessed in your mind because that ability to process, to turn a charged thought into just a memory that's not all charged for you, that gets impaired from, guess what? Trauma. Yes. What we all used to do is try to hold it together. But what you're actually doing with all that effort is carrying it. It gets to be a lot by the time you're an adult. So packing more and more stories into your mind, but never letting go of them. You can let them get resolved and deactivate them. You might be resentful at others. You might be resentful at yourself. It's so much to resent, right? When you grow up with trauma, you feel like the whole world is against you. It's a huge emotional burden if you have no way to release all this. And yet, if you grew up in chaos, emotional freedom can feel like, scary, like a free fall, like being naked. So you feel exposed, like something bad could happen if you stop moving or you let things get quiet. When you start getting anxious about all that openness inside, all that possibility, it can show up as a tendency to clutter. Does that make sense? Or as over-functioning. You save a lot, you do a lot. You're trying to quick fill the time, fill the space, do something. The instinct to take care of yourself and get things done is there. That's a good instinct. But like so many of our natural instincts, when it's wounded by trauma, it runs off track. It becomes disordered. So you try to create order, but you end up creating a mess when you're still dysregulated. You try to stay productive, but you end up frozen. That's a nervous system state. It starts to change when you practice regulation, when you learn to recognize dysregulation as it's happening and then shift out of it. Do you know the signs that you're dysregulated? Most people don't know, but it's really good to know. You can spot when it's happening. I have a quiz to share with you. It lists some of the signs so that you can check and see if that's what's underneath your tendency to fill up your life and your feelings and your time and your head with clutter. And I'll put a link to my dysregulation quiz in the second row of the description section right below this video. Now, when you stop living cluttered in your house, your time, your mind, something starts to open up. And with that openness comes, here it comes, responsibility. And if you're like me, that is the thing that you're trying to keep at bay. If I'm free, I'll have to do things. That urge to fill every space, to stay overbooked, to stay in debt, to be surrounded by problems, it's really a way to keep all the possibilities from taking all your choices away, right? Now you got to show up. You got to show up. But being afraid to show up, what that is, it's fear. It's just fear. It's avoidance. And clutter doesn't actually protect you from that. It just keeps you frozen and isolated. Same old problems. So even if you don't know your next step yet, you can start by letting some space back into your life. Start with your physical environment, just one corner of a room if you like, and then notice what happens. What new ideas, what new connections, what new energy begins to fill you up and propel you to the next area of your life that needs a little bit of tidying. If you like this video, I've got one that you're going to love right here, and I'll see you very soon. And it's hard to perceive accurately what's going on in those moments. Like, what just happened? What's the actual problem? Is it me? Is it the other person? What am I supposed to say?